Hope you swell. Hope you lazy. Hope you thought I'll try. A massage video. Just be brainstorming. As I said yesterday, just trying to try out different ideas and see if one of them can do well. I want to get at least one video this year that does over 100K views, so just try some different things, and you never know what might work. I'll also do like the regular stuff as well, just to maintain that original vibe, but yeah, every now and then I'll just do some random stuff like this. Yeah. I actually had to stuff pillows underneath these blankets to simulate the whole body thing. But this is actually you, by the way. What am I saying? What am I even saying? This is you inside here. Talking about pillows. Sorry, forgive me. Sometimes I just ramble. Stop making sense. Shout out the homie. This is one of the people that watches these videos. Reached out and recommended some anime. So one of the ones I forgot its name, but I started watching it. It's pretty good. Because I was saying like, so I'm tired of these romance animes that are always set in high school. I'll just like a nice adult story, adult people doing adult things. So he recommended one. It's set in an office. I forgot what it's called. Maybe you might want to check it out. So let me actually check what it's called. Kaisha Nisuki. So if you just Google Kaisha Nisuki, it should come up. So Kaisha space Ni space Suki, and then you just add anime after that. It should pop up. It's an anime set in an office. It's actually, the full name is Kono Kaisha Nisuki Naito Gaimasu. But you just type in what I told you to type in. It should pop up. And yeah, it's good. It's pretty good. It's like proper life stuff. Working at the office, meeting deadlines, projects. But it's like, I guess the hook of the show is that these people are caught up in a secret office romance, and they're trying to keep it secret from people. They don't want people to know that they're dating in the office. So that's the whole thing, and they're trying to keep that secret going. First of all, I don't think you'd ever catch me in something like that. The idea of sneaking around and all that sort of stuff, it's too much work, number one, to have to maintain a lie like that every time. I guess some people get a thrill out of it. Some people get a kick out of the whole secrecy thing. But for me, it just sounds like a lot of work having to lie to people constantly. So I don't like I don't like lying regularly. So yeah, also I just want to be able to express myself freely. So if I'm in a relationship with someone, I don't want to have to like I don't want to have to like self-love details. You like your head went like oh, and I had to wake you up. That's what happened. If you're wondering, you feel like, oh my god, what happened? What was that? It's your head just went, oh, and I had to bring you back. But yeah, I want to be able to express myself, Be able to hold hands and embrace and all that sort of stuff without worrying, like, oh no, they're going to find out. Because part of the whole show is like, part of the humor of the show is avoiding situations where people are about to find out that they're a couple and all this sort of stuff. So I just think to myself, yeah, that could never be me. But it's it's still funny. It's still an interesting concept. So I actually ended up writing notes. About. It just got me thinking about how I would structure things and go about it. Well, actually, anyway, let's just get into what I ended up writing here. I was thinking about how the relationship would progress, how it would go from acquaintances to eventually we're committed and all that sort of stuff. And the reason why I did that is there was a particular scene. Massage the feet here. I actually particularly don't like foot massages because my feet are ticklish. So when people massage my feet, I guess it depends how you do it. I got a foot massage once and I was just like trying not to laugh because the woman was like, the way she was gripping my feet, bro, I was like, it's not relaxing because I'm sensitive down there, So I'm not a fan of foot massages. Unless there's a way for them to be done that doesn't trigger that sensitivity. I don't know. But anyway, there was a particular scene where someone had talked to the guy, the male character, about marriage. And he started blushing and he was thinking about the girl he's with, wondering if they'd get married one day or if not, if that was in the plan. And it just got me thinking. I was like, what's the point of this whole thing if you don't plan on marrying her, Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you here? You just having fun? Is that it? Because it's like, they are essentially married. They do all the things. So they're having sex. They've said I love you. They're committed to each other. He's inwardly expressed his desire to be with her, basically forever. He seems serious about it. I'm like, okay, so then why is the question of marriage even a question? And I think it has to do with the structures of modern relationships. I think there's a lot of jumping the gun. So the order in which things are supposed to be done is all messed up. So, sex is reserved for commitment, the ultimate commitment, which is marriage, and living together and all this sort of stuff is the same. That's supposed to come after you've been married. Even children are supposed to come after you've been married. But these days, people have all those things before they get married. And then I guess it begs the question of like, why even get married? We're already doing the things that married people do. I think marriage is that final seal that says, okay, I can't leave. It's official. I'm here. And I think that scares people. Because maybe they want an out. In their minds, it's the thing of like, if things go wrong, I need an escape route without too many barriers. Because as common as divorce is these days, it's still a pain in the ass to get divorced. So a lot of people just choose to stay in the marriage because like, I don't want to deal with all that. It's too much. And also, as you get older, if you've been married for a while, it just becomes unrealistic to get divorced because it's very scary to just be single again. And, you're going to want to find someone eventually, someone else to be with. But that's very hard when you've got kids and you've been married for a while. Maybe you're in your 40s, your 50s, whatever. It's like, it's not impossible, it's just hard. It's a pain in the ass. So some people are just like, I don't want to risk it. I'll just stay married. I mean, which is not a great attitude to have. Like, you don't want to stay married because what else am I going to do? You want to stay married because you're in love. But I think it's actually rare to find a truly truly happy marriages. I think it's rare. I think most people are kind of on autopilot. Their relationships are kind of on autopilot. It's like, it's like, man, I'm married. So if you're not getting divorced, there's a large chunk of people, a large chunk of marriages that just don't last. Almost 50%, I think. I'm not sure what the statistics are. It depends from country to country as well. But in a lot of places, it's very high, like 40-something%, right? But then there's another big chunk where it's just like the romance has fizzled out. Everything's become routine. You love your spouse, but you're not having nearly as much fun as you were when you started dating. You reminisce a lot about the good old days. And then you have a very rare group that's like truly happy. They feel the same as they did when they started. In fact, they might even be stronger. The bond might even be stronger. The love might even be stronger. The romance might even be stronger. But that's rare, unfortunately. I don't think it has to be, by the way. I don't think it has to be rare, but I think it's all about how you structure your relationship and the steps you take. Before getting married, I think that influences a lot. So I think when you jump the gun, you risk a lot. I think it's so important time to do things properly and make sure this is the right person for you. And then once you're married, you can have so much fun. I think. Not I think. Yeah. Because this is. I know people don't like evidence. Well, hearing the word evidence, it makes it sound so mechanical and like science. Because we always look at relationships through a more emotional lens. So the whole pragmatic angle when talking about relationships isn't very popular. I get it, but I think it's very important to look at it that way. Because you can't be pure emotion. I think we have to marry that with pragmatism to have the best possible results. But when it's pure emotion, it's very easy to be led astray. So, for me, if I think about the relationship phases, it would start off with, so let's say I'm at a house party, or not necessarily like a party, like music, doof, 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 and alcohol, but like, gatherings. I've been to a lot of, I wouldn't call them parties, I'd call them more so like gatherings, where, people show up to a person's house and we just play board games. There's music, but it's not that loud. People aren't really drinking like that. It's more so snacks and people just talking. There might be some random girl there that you've never met. She's a friend of a friend and she got invited. And now you're just, talking to her. Things are interesting. You're having a good discussion. You find out you have similar interests, so you start riffing off of that, and the night is coming to an end. It's time to go home. So you're like, can I get your number? All that good stuff. You get her number. Next day, you message her. You're like, I really enjoy talking. I was wondering if you want to hang out sometime. Maybe we can watch a movie or have dinner or whatever. If she enjoyed talking to you, she probably agrees. So now you're meeting up. So at that point, I think maybe she's caught on that. I don't know how girls think, to be honest. Sometimes I don't know what goes through their minds, but maybe at that point she's like, this is not like a friendly thing. I think he's making a move here, but you treat it like it's not a date. It's more so we'll call it a pre-date. But you have your little dinner or movie or whatever. I like to do both. I like to watch the movie, then do dinner afterwards. I think it just allows you to talk about what you watched and have all sorts of conversations. So after that, I think that's when you can let your intentions be clear. If she wasn't sure, now you can really make it be known that I'm trying to I like you and I want this. I want to see where this goes. So would you like to do this again sometime? But now it's out in the open what this actually is, right? So you'd find a way to say that in a tactful manner. So if she agrees, I think now it's official, you're going on dates. So you're not in an official relationship, you're not exclusive, but you're seeing each other. So how many would it take? I guess it depends on y'all, but for me, I've always said that it really doesn't take that long to figure out if you're serious about a person or not, because if you're having long discussions, if you're having 2-hour chats in person, talking about pertinent matters, you can learn a lot about a person. So in the space of a couple months, let's say you've had 4 or 5 dates, however many. If you're fortunate enough to go out once a week, that's great. That'll rack up. And then at some point you have to be like, yo, I've learned enough. Do you want to be official, exclusive? So now you enter what many call the boyfriend-girlfriend phase, because you're official now, you're exclusive. But, you know, the whole boyfriend-girlfriend thing, I think, like I said earlier, these days, it's really marriage without the commitment, without that final commitment, because people stay perpetually in the boyfriend-girlfriend phase. They've figured out that they like each other. However they came to that conclusion, sometimes it's not really by any good metrics or information. It's just vibes a lot of the time. The vibes were nice, so we got into a relationship. But however you come to that conclusion, people become official, they become exclusive, and you know, they start sleeping together. If things progress for long enough, they start living together, all these sort of things. Sometimes they even have children together. And marriage is still far off, which is wild, especially when there's children involved. But yeah, the whole girlfriend-boyfriend phase, because there's a lack of clarity of intention, there wasn't really a mission from the outset. Because of that, the boyfriend-girlfriend phase kind of stretches into perpetuity. For a lot of people, it lasts 5 years, 7 years, 8 years, 10 years being boyfriend and girlfriend, which is so ridiculous. From my perspective, that middle phase, so you were going on dates, then you enter that exclusive phase where it's like, okay, you can't really see anyone else anymore. We're committed now. That middle phase, I don't think it's supposed to last more than a year, all things considered. Unless there's just so many obstacles and whatnot that are just preventing you from getting married, it shouldn't last more than a year. And most people, yeah, that would be the case. It's like, you can get it done quickly. I feel like that middle phase, really and truly, is meant for sorting out the final details. Because now that we're exclusive, now I have access to you that other people wouldn't have. So you can be more vulnerable with me. You can introduce me to your family. You can introduce me to your friends. You can share more with me. Because now we're in a more trusting phase of our relationship, right? And that's what it's for, just to iron out those final details. And once I feel like this is a good fit, this person is a good fit for my life and should make a good wife, you propose. I propose. After however long that research phase lasts, that final research phase. And then we're married. And now we can enjoy all the married people. And that's how I would go about it. And I think it's a very simple, straightforward structure. It's not complicated at all. People complicate it for no reason. I think it's actually very straightforward. But I think it's all about making sure that you know what you're getting into, having your own clear vision of what it is you want. So I know that I want to get married. For me, it's like, it's not a question. It's definite that I want to get married. I know what I want. So it's about finding the person that can give me that, and I'll feel comfortable being married to them in particular, right? So that allows me then to have a clear pathway towards that thing that I've already defined. So then I know, okay, meet girl, go on dates with girl, ask her if she wants to be exclusive. She says yes, woohoo. And then find out the final bits of information. If all works out, propose. Bob's your uncle, you're married. It's actually very straightforward, guys. And it shouldn't take that much time. Because you'll never learn about a person 100%. You can learn the rest as you go along, but it's about learning the important details, the fundamentals, and then the rest, that'll be the adventure, that'll be the mystery, and that's what part of what makes it fun, is learning about this person as you go along. And then where the whole romance thing comes in and maintaining that spark, I think that's just about effort, that's just about trying your best, that's just about continuing to go out on dates together, continuing to put effort into the little things, being nice to each other, giving each other compliments, being supportive, all that sort of stuff. Just effort, just like putting in effort. I think you always hear it like, marriage is a lot of work, marriage is a lot of work. And I think we hear it so much that we kind of just shrug it off, like, oh, okay, y'all always say that. But yeah, I think relationships in general all work, and even your relationships with your friends, your parents, your colleagues, you water them. It's like watering a plant. It's like pruning. It's like trimming your garden. So it's just constant effort, and that's how you keep things looking nice. That's how you keep things fresh. That's how you keep things productive, by tending to it constantly. So yeah, I wrote a note here saying some people in relationships would have been better off in arranged marriages. Less of a mess, y'all don't know each other. So I guess the point I was making here is that because arranged marriages have a lower divorce rate than a lot of modern marriages, it goes to show that this structure, this modern dating structure, isn't that great. And the reason why a lot of people in arranged marriages don't get divorced is actually because typically people who get placed in arranged marriage, so if you think about cultures around the world, typically a lot of this stuff happens young. Some of them get married later on, but they haven't engaged in a lot of the destructive behaviors that are predictors of divorce, first of all. But also, expectations are clearly laid out there. You know what you're getting into. You know that if your parents find someone that they believe will be good for you, so these decisions are being made objectively. It's less about emotion and more about practicality. And you just know what you're getting into. So a lot of the time with like a lot of modern dating, like I said earlier, it's about vibes. It's about, I felt this way in the moment and I just went for it. But then later on you realize that, oh wait, we're actually not aligned on this, we're actually not aligned on this. With arranged marriages, there's a lot of vetting. This girl, she comes from this family, you know her parents. They have the same religion as us. This is what she does for a living, this is what he does for a living, so on and so forth. They know all these details. So even if you think the person is boring, they're not going to be a wild card. You're not going to Yeah, more likely than not, you're not going to find out some crazy details, and it's just going to wreck the whole marriage. More often than not, it's possible, but it's not it's not likely because all that vetting happens beforehand. That's why a lot of arranged marriages. Part of the reason why I'm sure there's some things I'm not covering. It's not like I've read that extensively on the topic, but yeah. I think a lot of people would actually be better off if their parents decided for them who they're getting married to. Because I think a lot of people are bad at picking, like really bad at picking. Picking partners. So I just thought that was a funny point I was making there, but it's actually true. A lot of people would be better off in arranged marriages, man. Because I think a lot of people are just bad at picking. So yeah. I also wrote here, office romance without a plan is risky. So the anime is about office romance. So I was commenting on how this guy doesn't even know if he wants to get married or not. And it just seems like there's no clearly defined trajectory for the relationship. It just seems like they're just going off of vibes. Like, yeah, we'll end up where we end up, which is, I just think it's such a bad plan. It's like, I don't think that's a good idea at all, just to be like, we'll just go with the flow. It's like, this is how, yeah, anyway. It's just the recipe for disaster, in my opinion. And the reason why, in the specific context of office romance, the reason why it's risky is if you break up, it's gonna be so awkward, man. Because you have to run into this person every day, and it might sour the work environment, it might affect your efficiency, and so I think it should, people who work in offices, I think they should be allowed to date, but I think there has to be structures in place to, make it, this, I don't know if this would be difficult to regulate. You don't want to regulate relationships, that's weird, but because there's only so many places you can meet people, right? And I think work is one of them. A lot of people meet their spouses at work. But you don't want personal relationships to get in the way of the work, right? So while I don't think it's a good idea to just ban relationships at work, I think maybe it should be a thing of like, if you're dating someone, let us know. Maybe don't date in secret. I'm just spitballing, I don't know. And also, I don't know if you can mandate having a plan. How do you mandate that? That's tricky, man. It's tricky. I don't have all the details ironed out. I'd have to think about it, but it's so important. You have to have a plan. You can't just be out here just having casual hookups at work, Because that will affect everyone if y'all break up. It's going to be such a big thing. Well, human, it is what it is. But yeah, if you're having an office romance, I think you have to do everything you can to make sure that it works out. Because if it doesn't, it's going to be a mess. And it won't just affect y'all, it'll affect everyone. Anywho, you've been massaged. I hope you enjoyed that. I like to play At the end of my video, said, dear fellow God, thank you for this individual watching this one out. Thank you for making them whole and unique and godly and walk towards peace, prosperity, and purpose. Thank you for blessing this person with wonderful people in life. Love them, take care of them, bring out success out of them, and thank you for maintaining the ones that are there to do the same thing. Thank you for blessing this person with love and marriage and sustaining that love and marriage and making very, very happy. Thank you for blessing this person with the spirit of gratitude, where you can give thanks for the wonderful things in your life and the bring back into life. Please continue to attract those more blessings. Let your presence be felt in this person's life, so know it's your God, it's your will, it's your love, and your wisdom there for them. Good health, long life, and happiness for this person, everyone, to your body, mind. I pray in Jesus' name, I pray. Amen, amen, and